What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Indy Boys Racing Podcast.
Yeah.
Fresh off of a playoff berths. Yeah.
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 We're loving it out here. My name is Tristan Greider, or Tristan Greider. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
joined with Justin Cox and Daniel Cheney. Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Indy Boys Racing Podcast. We had a good weekend of racing, all three autosports, F1,
Yeah.
IndyCar,
Yeah.
and NASCAR.
What?
What? Anyway,
What?
if you don't get why we're doing that, you don't
I've
need to.
converted them to wrestling fans once again. It always happens.
So we had a great weekend of racing, but first off, Jay, how we doing today, brother?
I'm awesome. I did want to take a little bit of the time before the episode because I wanted to shout out one of our very, very fellow listener, or one of our very what am I trying to say? Like very loyal or faithful listeners. I want to shout out Race Mode 16 Brad and Mahalo Janet because I saw them once again at St. Louis this weekend, and it was a pleasure talking to them as much as I did because I was kind of busy with shooting for HMD and everything. So it was awesome talking to them again. I first met them at the Carb Night Classic. And they were like, Jay, you're always working. What are you doing? And then I was like, hey, you know what it is. So
He's a hardworking boy.
But yeah, I wanted to start off with a shout out to them because they're awesome and I love those people and they're amazing. So yeah. But other than that, I'm all right and I'm chilling, man.
How was Gateway?
It was fun. Like I said, I got to work with HMD a little bit this weekend and Indy next and shoot some stuff for them. That's on all my stories and everything and in my little highlight thing on my Instagram, so you guys can check that out. But it was fun. It was a lot of late nights because like we went out a lot every night. So, but yeah. So, but
how was almost pooping yourself every time the cars came around the turn?
Oh my god, dude. Okay, so this is the first time I ever got to shoot the outside of an oval track, and it's insane because I was standing at the exit of turn 2 right after a restart, like that very last restart of the race. And Devlin got offline, and I thought he was hitting the wall, like right where Takuma did, because someone under him kind of went wide, and he had to go wide. He was offline, and I thought he was hitting the wall right in front of me, and so I kind of like backed away in the video that I had, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is insane!" So I've never been like that close to the outside of the track, like at an oval at least. So. It was intense, low-key. It was awesome though. I loved it, but yeah. It was definitely intense. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. No,
yeah.
If you guys haven't checked out Jay's stuff, go to his Instagram or go to HMD Motorsports Instagram. They posted Jay's little highlight reel of the NXT weekend. If you guys don't know, Jay does a lot of freelance stuff for motorsports teams, and he's hired by a company that goes out to another. It's a very
RTD Media.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
RTD Media, and so Jay does a lot of that stuff over there for HMD and for some of their other clients. So
yeah,
for sure check out that stuff. Dan, how we doing, brother? You're all Malukas out.
Yeah, I'm all Malukas out because it was Gateway weekend, baby, and our boy got another podium. If you don't know, friend of the show, David Malukas, he's our boy. Listen, we'll be as objective as possible, but Gateway weekend, like we get a little excited for our boy, little Dave, if you will. 2 for 2 on podiums, by the way. 2 for 2.
And I mean, he had his tires a little used up, but I think maybe 5 more laps of the race, he probably would have got Pato.
I think, if a caution would have come out, he at least would have got second, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I see it.
But hey, back-to-back podiums and Gateway from Malukas. But also, we kind of had a huge NASCAR race. Daytona was this weekend, and also we had F1 in the Netherlands this weekend as F1's return with a surprising podium. So we got a lot to talk about. Let's go ahead and start with NASCAR. Let's get it going. All right, so First thing we're going to talk about is a penalty that happened this past weekend at Milwaukee in the Truck Series. So the 98 team of Ty Majeski has been fined an L2, has been delivered an L2 level penalty, which is $75,000 and 75 driver and owners points, and also 5 playoff points. They failed pre-qualifying inspection. Let me look up and see if there's anything else that has gone on with that as of recently. But this is pretty much screwed, in my opinion, Majeski's championship hopes unless he gets more wins. And there are tracks where Majeski has won in the past that are still on the playoff list. But as of right now, I'm predicting that our boy Ty Majeski is probably going to get eliminated in the round of 8. And I mean, obviously, there's still stuff that could happen. He could still win in the coming weeks, but I would not be Ty Majeski championship truther anymore. And I know that Jay was picking Ty Majeski to win the championship, so it's we'll see how this goes. But Ty Majeski handed a massive penalty. Now in the more of the Xfinity Series side of things, Parker Kligerman has re-signed with Big Machine Racing in 2024. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because, yes, Kligerman has had a great season, best season of Big Machine Racing's career. And in my opinion, the best season of his career. He's still technically outside the playoffs, I believe. Do you guys think Kligerman deserved a better ride with a better team? Or did you guys think that this is right where he belongs, right there at Big Machine Racing in the number 48? Everyone's favorite driver analyst.
I like Parker Kligerman, but I don't think I don't want it to sound bad when I say it, but I don't think he's ever done enough with his career to have a good team that he's to be with. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
I don't know a nicer way to say it because it sounds kind of rude if I say it like that, and I don't mean it that way. It's just I don't feel like I feel like sometimes he has been given pretty good equipment and he's not really done the best with it. Other than what was it, that truck win at Mid Ohio that he had?
Yeah. I mean, technically, he is currently the last driver into the playoffs right now. He's 20 points ahead of Riley Herbst. With 2 races left before the playoffs, there is a way that he can still sneak in, but it's good to see that he has some traction for next season. Daniel, what are you thinking?
I think I kind of like him where he is. I think it's probably the best situation for him. He's old enough to the fact where I don't necessarily think he'll go somewhere big like a Junior Motorsports or anything like that. But he's good enough to be on kind of that B tier, cusp of A on some weeks tier team. And he's had some good runs, usually at road courses and stuff. He's not a bad driver by any means. I don't think he's lucked into a seat at Big Machine Racing, which is kind of that B tier team. I think it's kind of a good spot for him. Yeah. I mean, that team's only won one race because they won with Reddick last year.
Yes.
And they've gotten close a few times here and there with Kligerman. I think it's a good spot for him.
Even back when Jade Buford was running full time for that team.
Yeah.
Buford was put himself in positions. So, same thing.
Yeah, I like the fit for him. I think it's a good place for a driver of his caliber and his style. I don't think his style would really work as much on a big team, but I would love to see Parker Kligerman return to the Cup Series. I've always said that I think Colleague Racing and Cup would be a great fit for him. Possibly after Allmendinger retires, I'd love to see Kligerman get that seat. But hey, I like that he's re-signing with Big Machine. Another chance that he can possibly get an Xfinity Series championship under his belt. All right, next thing before we talk all about this weekend, Carson Hocevar, guys, is going to be in the 42 for Legacy Motor Club next weekend at Darlington. So good to see that he likes the number 42. Yeah.
This will be Hocevar's second Cup Series start. He drove the number 7 car and now is going to be driving the number 42 car. So good to see that Hocevar is back in the Cup Series. Hopefully he has a little bit better luck than he did in his debut. So Hocevar at 42 for Legacy Motor Club. Chevy looks like they want to keep him under their development program. So good to know, especially since there are the rumors that Hocevar will be going Cup Series racing next season. Good to see that they want to get him a little bit more experience. Okay, let's talk about this weekend. So this weekend we had Daytona, and it was a good race. Great racing the entire time. There was never one single train going around the track, logging laps. We were consistently 2x2, sometimes 3x3. The end of stage 2 was crazy. Jay, I don't know if you really got to watch any of Daytona because you were busy working, but I mean, I was watching it. Daniel was watching it.
Other than IndyCar, I didn't get to watch any race this weekend.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. We had a big one. We had a terrible
massive one.
massive one. We had great racing. We had playoff pushes, and we had a kind of surprising, non-surprising finish. We had a lot to talk about with this one. So, first thing we're going to talk about is the terrible crash that happened. Ryan Preece, guys, if you have not seen this crash, or if you did not see this race, this is the worst crash I have seen in 15 years. This was a bad crash. Ryan Preece made contact with his teammate Chase Briscoe. They both slid down the backstretch. Contact with Preece and Briscoe's car caused Preece's car to flip airborne, and then he proceeded to barrel roll 10, 11, 12 times down the back straightaway. His car got so high that it flipped 3 full times in the air before landing back down. It was crazy. It was a very bad crash, and it was so bad that Preece could not take the window net down himself, and the roof hatch on top of the car also opened. The car was destroyed. Pretty much. We do not know. It has not been revealed whether or not Preece attempted to let the window net down, but it was taken down by safety officials. Preece was then rushed to the infield care center and then transferred to a local hospital, but was released on Sunday morning. So good to see that Preece will be Preece is okay. There are no guarantees that he will be racing this weekend. We do not know what's going to be going on with Preece this weekend, or if he's cleared to race yet. But it's good to see that he is okay. However, this has raised some safety concerns with the roof hatch of the car, seeing as this is another flip where we have seen the roof completely cave in on these cars. If you did not know, we've seen now 4 flips in the next gen era. We had Joey Logano and actually, was Joey 2021 or was that 2022?
Joey was 2021 at Talladega when he landed on Bubba.
So we have had Harrison Burton. We have had
I think that's it, just those 2.
We had Chris Buescher last year in the Coke 600.
That's right. I forgot about that.
And now this one, and all 3, the roofs have kind of caved in on every single one. So NASCAR, I feel like, really needs to look at that, and I'm sure you guys agree. But I don't know whether or not you do not agree.
Oh no! Someone came in my room.
You're good. But I'm sure you guys agree that the safety on the cars needs to be better. And I'm hoping NASCAR is going to take the time to figure this out, because that was a terrible crash. The most times a car has flipped in NASCAR since Michael McDowell flipped in 2008 at Texas. So that is a lot of flips, a lot of barrel rolls, and it's good to see that Ryan Preece walked out of the car and is okay. So a lot of stuff that happened this weekend. Daniel, obviously me and you were the only ones to see this crash live, but what were your reactions just from watching the crash?
Dude, I about crapped myself. That was terrifying. I just kind of like saw it and I was like, because I was watching on my phone. I was not in my room. I was in someone else's. I was watching on my phone. I was like, huh?
I haven't. So
my reaction, because I didn't see it necessarily live, but I saw it right after it happened, because I was walking through pit lane at the end of the Indy Next race, and as I'm walking, David Land, shout out David Land, and Tony Donahue and Luke Edwards, because they were both there as well. He goes, Jay,
you got to see Luke? That's awesome.
Yeah. He goes, Jay, come here, bro. I was like, what? I was like, what? Because I was trying to go down to the pit box for HMD to get like a reaction, and he goes, come here, bro. There was a crazy flip in the NASCAR race. I was like, what? I was like, someone flipped. He was like, yeah, bro. You haven't seen it? I was like, no. And then he showed me. I was like, because he was flying through the I've never seen.
He caught the air from the side.
I haven't seen a car flip like that since probably I I wasn't alive, but Rusty Wallace at Talladega in 1993.
That's definitely
that is the
comparable.
only comparable crash. That's the only comparable one.
Yeah.
And it was just
you could
bad.
say Ryan Newman's as well from, what was that,
2003?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think but the thing was, though, Ryan Newman made contact with the wall, and this was a blowover flip.
Yeah.
And Newman's wasn't necessarily a blowover flip because he had the tire underneath his car, which caused his car to get airborne. So
yeah. But
they are very comparable.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Priest would have blew over, but he hit like the little track or the chicane for the Rolex, and that's what lifted the car. Because if he hadn't hit that, he just slid through it. If it was just solid grass, he just slid through the grass. He would have stayed on the ground. But because he hit like the track there, it kind of bounced the car up in the air, got under, and he blew over, and it led to that. So
terrible incident. However, that is not the only driver who took a very hard hit this weekend. Ryan Blaney took a very hard hit to the inside wall. The hit was so bad that they had to repair the safer barrier. As if in his crash right at the end of stage 2. It has also not been revealed whether or not Ryan Blaney will be racing this weekend. Hopefully he is going to be okay. But he did not seem very okay in his post-race interview. So I'm sure NASCAR has sent him to concussion protocol and concussion testing to see if he's okay. But however, as of right now, Priest and Blaney are both racing this weekend. But it's good. Hopefully they will both be in the car this weekend, and hopefully we do not have any more concussions. Okay. That is pretty much it for crashes. Now let's talk playoff and the eventual race winner. So Bubba Wallace is in, everybody, and Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, AJ Allmendinger, and Ty Gibbs, and the rest of the playoff field are out. Bubba Wallace finished 12th in this race, ran a very clean race, and got playoff points, got stage points, and is in his first playoffs. Congrats to him. He's had a very strong second half of the regular season. And Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, I mean, ever since they both came back from injury, they've not been the same. AJ Allmendinger obviously was involved in multiple incidents this weekend. So was Ty Gibbs. So they were both pretty much eliminated really early. But, I mean, Bubba makes his first playoffs. Both 2011 racing cars make the playoffs. It's really exciting. So good for Wallace. But the eventual race winner of this race was Chris Buescher, who won his third race of the last 5 races. Here's my thing, guys. Is this it? Is Chris Buescher the championship underdog? Because he has all this momentum going in. I'm going to let Daniel start.
Yeah, it's time, baby. It's time. The Buescher time is upon us. I called it the beginning of the season. I said, RFK, watch out. It's a Chris Buescher season. Did I think he was going to get 3 wins in 5 weeks? No. Not necessarily.
I think he's heating up at the perfect time.
Oh, he's heating up. He's heating up. Let's just say he's at that point where he's made 3 shots in a row and boom, shakalaka, baby, he's on fire. I think that Chris Buescher caught fire at such a good point, and we're heading to Darlington where he has good finishes in the past. We're heading to Kansas where he finished well earlier in the season. These 3 tracks that we're about to go on, I mean, Darlington, he's good at. Kansas, he's good at. Bristol, by the way, he won that race last year. I think Chris Buescher will win a race in this first round. And speaking of playoffs, we might as well just really quickly read the playoff who made the playoffs.
Well, we're gonna do that in a minute when then
I'll read the race results then for Daytona. Chris Buescher brought it home. His teammate Brad Keselowski finished second in the first RFK 1-2 finish, I think, in over 10 years. Eric Almirola finished third. Chase Elliott was fourth. Joey Logano was fifth. Alex Bowman sixth. Kyle Busch seventh. William Byron eighth. Ninth was Kevin Harvick, and 10th was Corey LaJoie. And I just want to shout out Ty Dillon for finishing 11th. And then Bubba Wallace finished 12th. Michael McDowell 13th. Austin Hill for Beat Motorsports 15th. 14th, and then Chandler Smith for Colleague Racing finished P15. So shout out to all of them. But I also really quickly, I want to shout out Riley Herbst, who hopped into this car on very short notice, went out there, had a great qualifying run, qualified 4th in his, I believe, 3rd ever NASCAR Cup Series race. for a completely different team he's never ran before, was involved in that big one, but was leading parts of this race. So shout out to Riley Herbst.
Good for him.
He made me think this weekend about whether or not he's deserving of a cup ride. Obviously, he's still 13th in points in the Xfinity Series. But
keep in mind, Super Speedway.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Super
keep in
Speedway.
mind
He's good
it
on
was
Super
Daytona.
Speedways.
Super Speedway, I will say. But hey, good race for him. And then, guys, for the Xfinity Series this weekend, we saw Justin Allgaier win by 5 1,000ths of a second over Sheldon Creed. And then in the truck race yesterday, we saw Grant Enfinger win at the Milwaukee Mile. That reminds me, speaking of GMS racing, I completely forgot to mention, GMS racing is shutting down at the end of the season. That means that 3 drivers are looking for new rides. Those drivers being Grant Enfinger, who is going to get a top ride, Raja Carruth, who is rumored to be moving up to the Xfinity Series next season, and Daniel Dye, who apparently already has a contract signed. They just have to reveal what the team is. I mean, I like GMS racing, but if they have really putting all their eggs into this Cup Series program, and it's sad to see a Truck Series team that won multiple championships with Johnny Sauter, Sheldon Creed, shut down like this, because they are a very strong team. I just remember those old races, their first win that they ever had with Spencer Gallagher back in the Xfinity Series. But it's sad to see that a team is shutting down, but happy to see that they are going to be putting all their eggs into this into the Cup Series basket. So that is all the news I guess I have for NASCAR. Do we want to go straight into our playoff predictions?
Let's do our other news first.
Okay, that's cool.
So, Daniel, IndyCar.
All right, time to get IndyCar, boys, because we got some IndyCar news. You thought we were done talking about flips, but no, we are not. Simon Pagenaud is not returning this season. He announced, and Meyer Shank announced, that Tom Blomqvist will be taking over the 6E for the remainder of this season. Don't really know what that means for next season. He basically said that he had a lot of lingering post-concussion issues, and that he just didn't think it was wise. Both he and his doctors didn't think it was wise to rush a return. Still concerning, considering it's been, almost 3 months?
It's giving me Kurt Busch vibes. It's
been almost 2 months. Very much kind of Kurt Busch vibes. It is interesting to note that his contract is up this season.
I also was noticing that.
Yeah.
I mean, there are the rumors of him going to Andretti next season, but I am getting those Kurt Busch vibes. And obviously, a crash Pagenaud and Kurt Busch's crashes are non-comparable.
No,
but
not
their
at all.
symptoms are very comparable. And obviously, Kurt Busch just retired from NASCAR. And, I mean, Pagenaud, Indy 500 champion, IndyCar champion. I mean, it's scary. I mean, it sucks to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I don't want it to be the end as just a fan of the sport, as a fan of someone he's been nothing but great to us. Mm-hmm. He's great for the sport. He's a fan favorite, really. And I don't want it to be the end, because nobody wants a driver to have to retire so early, because he's not very old.
In his late 30s.
Yeah. So I hope it's not the end. I hope somehow there's a way he returns, but it's not looking promising. I don't want to keep talking bad about it, but every week it felt like, oh, here's another race he's not going to make. Oh, they've called it off the season. Could he be re-signing? They just don't want to rush him back. That's very much possible. But at the same time, it's not looking good. So, just thoughts out to Simon Pagenaud. Hope that he can get cleared sooner rather than later, and we hope that his Mid-Ohio crash wasn't the end of his career.
Hopefully not.
And then, hopefully not, because he's one of the best. He's so underrated. He's so good.
True.
And I don't want that to be the case. Mm-hmm. Moving on to a little bit of news. So last week, we were talking about how in IndyCar, we were kind of waiting on that silly season domino to fall. Well, of course, because things can't happen right before we record one of our episodes. The day after.
Less than a day. Let's go like
Yeah,
12
like 12
hours.
hours maybe. 12 hours maybe.
Yeah.
Marcus Ericsson signed with Andretti Autosports.
That was insane to
And
hear
so,
about.
yeah, we put out a tweet. We were like, the episode's not even out, but we were talking about this earlier and how this might happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's official. Marcus Ericsson will be an Andretti Autosports driver. Now, what they didn't clarify if that's the 28 or the 29. It's very expected that it's the 28. However, it also could be the 29 because they said the 29 program is not going to be a pay seat anymore. They've found out enough funding to make that just a very standard, like, regular addition to their team. But they still haven't done anything to re-sign Roman Grosjean. Roman Grosjean has had a pretty underwhelming season outside of, like, 2 podiums, I think. He's kind of fallen off. He hasn't been very consistent. It seems like he's been crashing out every time he has a big opportunity, and obviously that adds up, not only to like a driver's reputation, but it adds up here.
Mm-hmm.
Could Andretti be fully getting rid of him for this next season? If they do, does he go to another IndyCar team? Does he go full-time in the sports car series that he'd already announced he was going in? I don't want to look into it too much.
Does DHL leave also? Because now that, I mean, there's been rumors that DHL has been wanting out of IndyCar for a couple of years now, and
I think,
now, especially since Marcus Ericsson has the massive sponsorship from everyone's favorite chocolate factory, Husky.
however, I think DHL might stay on because they've kind of been like a part-time, like half the season thing.
Definitely.
I could see it being like a half and half with Husky because Ericsson has made it very clear he does not want to be a paid driver. He doesn't want to be bringing all the sponsorship. So there's a chance that maybe Husky isn't the full sponsor, but they still do sponsor him because they're loyal to him. I'm not sure. But we might have a new driver in the 28, but he could be in the 29 too. So we just kind of have to wait to see what's going to happen with Grosjean, what's going to happen with anybody else coming potentially to the 29.
And
there's a lot of people
what's
being thrown out there.
And especially what's going to happen with the end of the Indy Lights. I'm sorry, the Indy Next season. Because, I mean, obviously McElroy is still technically in points contention to win.
Yeah,
even though Rasmussen has
happen.
a heck of a lead over his former teammate. There are rumors that McElroy could be possibly going to IndyCar next season. There are rumors that Rasmussen could be going to IndyCar next season.
Well, if he wins the championship, he's going because
he has to.
At least on a part-time basis.
And obviously Malukas hasn't signed a deal yet. Stingray Robb hasn't signed a deal yet. Santino Ferrucci hasn't signed a deal yet. So I mean, there's a lot of drivers.
That haven't signed a deal yet.
There's a lot of drivers.
There's a lot of hungry drivers.
Yes, and
that are waiting for that big contract.
I agree.
So, I guess we'll just have to keep on. I told you guys, it was like the domino has to fall. Once the domino falls, things are gonna start happening.
The dominoes are falling.
The first one's down.
Especially with that big news that came out of the Rahal Letterman Lanigan camp.
Yeah. So speaking of that. Rahal, we were talking about how Jack Harvey is no longer there, and they hadn't announced who was going to take over for the rest of the season outside of this past oval race. But we now know that, like the rumors were saying, the driver that will be taking over these last 2 starts will be Yuri Vips, which is very interesting. He's been kind of tied with Rahal for the past year or so, I think. I believe he tested with them last year and maybe a little bit at the beginning of this year. But it's kind of been rumored for a hot minute. I'm surprised it took this long for it to happen. But Yuri Vips is officially going to be an IndyCar driver, at least on a part-time basis. Does this mean he's taking over the 30 next year full-time? If he does well, it'd be hard to say no. I mean, that's kind of what happened with Christian Lundgaard. He really impressed in his one start. You kind of couldn't deny him. He was just so good in one race. So I don't want to hype him up too much. This could be it's the 30. It's been a very average car. We don't know if it's a driver thing or a technical thing. I hope it's not a technical thing.
But hey, I will say that 30 car won the
race.
Indy 500 4 years ago. So I mean,
yeah. But Rahal's also been on a downswing for the past few seasons until kind of the street courses and road courses this year. Ovals, they still haven't been great. But it's interesting to note. It's interesting to note. What are you guys' thoughts on this move?
Not really surprised, but it's interesting due to kind of what happened with Vips. I know a lot of people have been kind of giving backlash to Ray Hall and whatever with like
I have
WWE
disabled comments on the post, by the way.
yeah, I saw that. But I don't know, just interesting. I want to see how it goes before, I make judgments based on at least knowing what's happened in the past. So
right.
And but yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
I think the only reason why Vips is being brought in is just because Ray Hall saw how much success they had with Christian Lundgaard. Obviously, Lundgaard is this season had a career year. In his top 10 in points, won a race, multiple podiums. He's been great, and I think they're seeing it, and they're going to take another shot with Yuri Vips since they lost out on Marcus Armstrong. So I think it's a smart decision for Ray Hall. However, I think the only dumb decision that they made was that it was Yuri Vips. And when you have a fan favorite team like Ray Hall, Letterman, Lanigan, sometimes it's not good to have your fans have a driver that just had a very recent controversy. So we'll see how this goes. I mean,
bad controversy is still like, was it bad news is still good news when it comes to like teams because people will be talking about them.
No, it's
all news is good news.
All news is good news. Yeah.
All press is good press.
Yeah, basically in that way. Yeah.
Basically, they're gonna get talk out of this, and it'll kind of take away from the fact that outside of a few races this season, they've been kind of disappointing as a whole. So I think you take a seat that's been disappointing, you put in a driver that he's going to get controversy, people are going to talk about it. Maybe it gets the blame off the 30? I don't know. I don't know. I'm intrigued to see what happens with this. I'm not going to judge too much into it because I just want to see how he is on track. But
and off track too. My goodness.
Yes, that's it. I want to see because if things keep happening, get it like
this is off track with Hinch and Rossi.
yeah.
Bro's going back to McDonald's.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm interested to see how it works out for them. I'm interested to see if it'll
to the gulag.
I want to see if it plays into silly season at all because Christian Rasmussen is leading the championship in Indy Next, and he's best friends practically with Christian Lundgaard. Wonder if that would be an option. I don't know. There's a lot that has to happen.
We've all heard the rumors too of where Rasmussen is going next season. So I mean, like, we'll see if Vip interrupts Rasmussen's future plans. But I mean, I doubt it.
I doubt it. Never forget. People thought Oliver Askew was going to get the 45 2 years ago.
It's true.
Never forget.
Never back down. Never what?
Never give up.
Never back down. Never what?
Never give up.
That's right.
Yeah, but that's all the IndyCar news I got.
Speaking of never back down, never what? Scott Dixon.
Yeah. Dude, you know, as soon as Newgarden crashed out, the NBC booth was like getting ready for some. That's why he's the Iceman. That's why he's the GOAT.
Yes, sir.
Never count out Scott Dixon. He's still in championship contention. He's the only driver that could potentially beat Alex Palou now.
Yeah. A lot has to go his way, but
Chip does not care. Chip does not care.
Chip is laying back. He said, either way, we're good. He's no matter what, I'm still going to wear my orange hat. So
for real.
Only.
I mean, I remember that man was wearing his PNC hat when Palou won the first championship for him, and I was like, "Switch hats, buddy."
Yeah,
like,
for real.
Switch hats.
Yeah, but if you don't know it by now, you better have learned that never count out Scott Dixon. Scott Dixon won again. He's had what people were thought was, it's kind of disappointing season. He was still third, second, fourth, like I think at the lowest in the championship most of the year. Don't count him out. Like he's probably the GOAT. It's hard.
Why he is the GOAT.
Yeah, it's hard to like discredit what he's doing. Because how old is he? He's got what, mid-40s?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like He's still doing it at this high of a level, and he's nowhere near slowing down. He's the only person that has a possibility. Not saying he's going to do it. Only person that has an even slim chance to beat Alex Palou this season. And if anybody's going to do it, Scott Dixon's the guy I want to put my bet on.
That's why he's the Iceman, brother.
Yeah, he's the Iceman. He's closes out everything.
Yeah.
He's done it before. He'll do it again. I truly believe if Alex Palou even has one issue at Portland, aka Turn 1, where anything can happen in Turn 1, it's going to be an interesting championship.
Mm-hmm.
But could he close it out in this next race?
And again,
it's possible.
we could go to Portland again, just like last year, and have an absolutely snoozer of a race.
Yeah, don't remind me.
Palou leads the entire race, which would not be a snoozer for him because that would pretty much guarantee him.
It would clinch,
But,
I think.
Last season, Portland was the worst race of the season. So, I mean...
Yeah, it was just McLaughlin leading the whole race.
Yeah. I guess we'll see.
I'm not a Portland fan. Portland has Turn 1, that's about it.
The Portland pilot.
Yeah, Portland is very hit or miss. When it's bad, it's bad.
Yeah, but let's see how it goes.
All right, Dan, read that top 10.
Let me pull up this top 10 real quick. Off the top of my head, the podium was Scott Dixon in first, second was Pato Ward, and third was our boy, little David Malukas. Rounding out the rest of the top 10, Alexander Rossi was fourth, Scott McLaughlin in fifth, Colton Herta sixth, Alex Palou seventh, and he was having issues, and he still finished seventh. Don't count out Alex Palou. He does it every week. Felix Rosenquist was 8th, 9th was Will Power, and 10th was the Franken-car of Marcus Ericsson, which was a really weird sight.
That car
looked kind of cool, in my opinion. I think it was sick. But
yeah, it was sick.
Good looking person, Jay.
It was cool, bro. It had so many different elements to it. Honestly, I wish more teams would do it, Loki.
I wish teams would do it on purpose, kind of switch up sponsors and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the top 10. I believe Scott Dixon, let's see, how many points is he back in the championship? He is 74 points behind. He's the only person that has a mathematical chance of somehow beating Alex Palou.
His mathematical chance includes Alex Palou crashing out of both races, finishing last, and Dixon winning both races. So that is
at least pretty close to that. Yeah.
A lot has to go right. So
yeah.
Well, how much is Dixon behind?
74.
Well, you get 50. So if Palou doesn't finish one race or doesn't finish good in one race, something happens, Scott Dixon's right back in that as long as he is at least top on the podium. He's right there.
Also,
but it would come
at least when it comes to his Ganassi career, has Palou ever DNF'd?
I'm sure.
I don't think he has.
I believe he has.
I think just one race.
Because I think
curious.
One at Barber, I want to say that big crash at Barber where Newgarden.
That was his first win.
He won that one?
Yeah. That was the first race of the season he won that and then just led the championship most of the year.
Oh, I thought he crashed out in that race. I'm not going to lie.
No, that was his first career
win. He might never have a DNF.
Let's see. Alex Palou statistics and results. Keep talking. I'm doing some research.
Yeah, I
don't know what we have else to talk about. I mean, any fun stories from this weekend, Jay?
It was raining sideways, literally.
Fire.
Literally, not even the pun. Literally, it was raining sideways. There was coolers and trash cans and everything blowing. It was insane.
He had 3 DNFs his first championship season. He had 1 DNF last season. He has 0 this season.
Okay, so only 4 out of his whole career.
Yeah. Well, 4 out of his Ganassi. He had
I wouldn't
3 at
count
Coin.
anything at Coin, but
Yeah, I wouldn't count that.
See, where did he even finish that season?
He only ran half the races.
He finished 16th. That was also just a weird season, to be fair.
That's still not bad for running half the races, though.
Yeah. I don't think it was half the races.
I thought he ran half the races that year.
I don't remember. I kind of blocked 2020 out of my brain. I want to say...
I can't remember.
Doing more mid-pod research. Let me add him.
Yeah. All right. Well, I feel like that's all we have really for IndyCar. I mean, Jay, you want to go ahead and take us to F1 while Daniel's doing mid-pod research?
Yeah.
As we always are, you know.
Yeah. So we're gonna start off. Kevin Magnussen.
Yeah, he ran all the races.
Yeah.
There you go.
Kevin Magnussen and Nico Hulkenberg are going to remain at Haas for the 2024 season, as was announced early last week.
Honestly, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, I didn't think Magnussen was gonna keep his seat. Honestly, that kind of surprised me. But hey, like, I'm not against it. So, Zhou Guan Yu could lose his Alfa Romeo seat for 2024, as per Julian Fabreau. A lack of budget from Zhou could be significant, and Teo Pucher is seen as an option as a possible replacement. So kind of weird to hear Zhou, because Zhou is a good driver in my opinion.
Zhou's had a better year than Bottas.
Yeah.
So that's very surprising.
Yeah, exactly. It's very surprising to hear. Next up, Helmut Marko says again that Sergio Perez has to improve his performance to keep his seat for 2024. Remember, Helmut Marko also said Perez was keeping his seat for 2024. Now it's saying he must improve his performance. Interesting. Interesting. He also says...
wait to see Nicholas Latifi return and go to Red Bull.
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. No.
Redemption arc.
Dalton Kellett.
Oh my God, I would cry. I would cry.
Imagine. No, I'm kidding.
You know our asses would be going to the paddock every weekend.
Oh my goodness, yes.
So much fun.
But Helmut Marko,
so much money.
Yeah, I would. I would spend a lot of money. But Helmut Marko says that the situation is that Perez has to perform. That means he has to improve his qualifying. Everything is clear for this year. As for next year, we will see. That was his quote. So, interesting to see the switch up there. And final thing that I have, Max Verstappen won the Dutch Grand Prix, as you saw. And he equals Sebastian Vettel's record of 9 consecutive wins, with the possibility of this next weekend breaking the 9 consecutive win record. So, the thing is, there is the Monza curse.
There is the Monza curse.
The person who won it the year before did not win it the year after, or DNF the year after, actually. So it's kind of interesting because you've seen it with Pierre Gasly, Daniel Ricciardo. Who else am I missing here?
Who won it the year before Gasly? Wasn't it Leclerc?
I believe so, yes. That sounds correct. So, and he DNF'd the year Pierre won, I believe. So, yeah. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We're going to see if Max Verstappen can break the Monza curse this weekend. And actually, there is also a thing that the person who won the first race of the championship at Bahrain, the previous year did not go on to win the championship this year, but we already know he's gonna.
How many points is he ahead? Like 250.
Yeah, pretty much. He could win the constructors by himself almost, probably.
Yeah.
So that's pretty insane. But that's all I have. I didn't really get to check out much of this race because I was pretty busy. So if you guys have any intel that you would like to talk about,
I mean, coolest thing I feel like was seeing Pierre Gasly on the podium. So I mean, podium, very interesting podium. Max Verstappen P1, P2 Fernando Alonso, who's returned to the podium. P3 Pierre Gasly. I'd like to talk about quali for a minute. I mean, both the Williams cars made it into the final round of quali.
Q3.
So
I saw that.
It was good to see Alexander Albon, who did extremely well. I mean, I believe he qualified fourth. Do well, and then Sargent became the first American to qualify in the top 10 in a long time. I believe since Michael Andretti. So it was very, very cool to see. So
I seen something that said he was the first American to make it in the top 10 since...
I believe since Michael Andretti.
No, it was someone else.
Think about American F1 drivers. I mean,
I think it was someone after Andretti.
Oh.
Like that. Like that's the most recent. I can't remember though.
Godspeed.
It was still from like the late
1900s.
In the 1700s when they were racing horse and carriage.
Or not. You know what I mean.
I know.
Dude, they were out there playing the F1 theme song on like harps.
That'd be crazy. I can't remember, but I saw that. I saw that stat somewhere.
Yeah.
I can't remember it off the top of my head though. But
What a drive, Logan! What a drive!
Yeah, but he did crash out of both. I did see that.
Yes, he did.
Unfortunately. But,
R.I.P.
Hey,
yeah.
but you know what I have to say to that? Wait, I can't use it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Discord's annoying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, we got like a trial for a minute, and the trial's
Why
gone.
can I use? No, it requires higher server boost level. I want to use my Logan Sargent sound.
There you go now.
Hey. Yeah, baby.
You're welcome.
all is restored in the world.
For some reason, my server boost got taken off the server. I just realized that.
It really said.
Honestly. But I'll take you guys. I'll take you guys to the podium, top 10, and the constructors after this race. So podium was Max Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, Pierre Gasly, as we just talked about, Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz, Hamilton, Norris, Albon, Piastri, and Ocon rounded out the top 10. And then sorry, I'm trying to hurry through this because I'm ready to get into our our NASCAR playoff predictions. Verstappen, Perez, Alonso, Hamilton, Carlos Sainz, Charles Leclerc, George Russell, Lando Norris, Lance Stroll, Pierre Gasly. Rounds out the top 10 in your drivers, and your top 5 is Red Bull, Mercedes, Aston, Ferrari, and McLaren in the constructors. Let's do our NASCAR playoff predictions now.
I need to pull it up so I don't forget names.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I am just going to be filling out
I got a thing on the screen for everyone. So do we want to do it by round? Like each of us go per round? Or do we just
Should we do it like who we think's going to get eliminated per round?
No. Because
we're just doing who advances?
Yeah.
Okay.
So who wants to go first?
I can go first. So I got my grid challenge pulled up, so I will just fill it out as I'm talking, I guess. So for my round of 12, I'm going to go down the list pretty much. First pick, obviously, I'm going to go Martin Truex Jr. I think he has to make it, in my opinion. Second, I'm going to go William Byron. Both the drivers have been so consistent. And I really can't see any other, I can't see either of them missing the second round. So
right,
I got to go with those two. Third, Denny Hamlin, and fourth, go Chris Buescher. The top 4 seeds, I think all 4 of them make it into the next round. And then a driver in fifth that I've been very, very high on, I'm going to go Kyle Busch. I think Kyle Busch is going to make it, along with the number 5 of Kyle Larson. So the top 6 seeds, guys, I have the top 6 seeds making it into the next round. Now, my first driver I'm going to have missing the round of 12. Call me crazy, but he has had a very bad couple of months since his win at Bristol Dirt. I do not see Christopher Bell making it past the round of 16. That's my first bold take. What has he done since Bristol Dirt? What has he done?
He's Christopher Bell, brother. What do you mean?
Yeah. He did turn around last season in the playoffs.
He's still consistent.
He's still consistent, but sometimes consistency isn't key. I have Christopher Bell missing the round of 12. Then my next pick, I'm going to go Ross Chastain. I think Ross is going to run very well these next couple of weeks, even though he has also been very terrible these last couple of months. Only one top 10 since his win at Nashville. Then I have my 8th pick. In the 8th seed, I'm going to go with Brad Keselowski. I think Big Bad Brad is going to make it to the second round and with his RFK teammate. And next, I'm going to go with Joey Logano. I think Joey Logano is going to make it.
We're on the same boat.
Now we're getting to a tough situation. Okay. Drivers I have left: Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, Michael McDowell, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kevin Harvick, and Bubba Wallace. I'll give you my next driver. It's going to be Kevin Harvick. I think Kevin Harvick is going to have a good couple of weeks, even though he is the lone Storehouse racing car and SHR has been bad. I see it happening. So now that I have 10 drivers and I have 2 more spots, Reddick, Blaney, McDowell, Stenhouse, and Wallace. I'll tell you a driver I'm not going to be picking, and it pains me to say it as a fan. Ryan Blaney will not be making it out of the first round of the playoffs. He has not been consistent, and I do not see it happening. Another driver that will not make it out of this round, even though he has had a great season, and I am very, very proud of this driver because after his win, he still kept it consistent the entire season and would have made it to the playoffs whether he got the win or not. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. will not make it out of the first round of the playoffs. So now I am down to 2 spots for 3 drivers. Those 3 drivers being the 2311 racing cars and Front Row Motorsports driver Michael McDowell. And I'll tell you who's going to make it. And that driver is Michael McDowell. I think Michael McDowell makes it to the second round. And so now I'm down to the 2311 racing cars. And just based off of experience, I am going to say that Tyler Reddick is going to make it to the next round. Does that mean that I do not think Bubba Wallace is going to be the 13? I think Bubba Wallace will be the first driver out of the round of 16. He is so good at Darlington and at Kansas, but just with his lack of experience and finish results at Bristol, I think that Wallace is going to be the first driver out. So the drivers I have missing the round of 16 are getting eliminated after the round of 16 are Christopher Bell, Ryan Blaney, Ricky Stenhouse, and Bubba Wallace.
Damn. Okay.
There you go.
All right, Dan, you want to go next?
Alrighty, I'm gonna try to go as quickly as I can before I get to the stuff that's gonna be challenging. Give me Byron.
Okay.
Give me Truex.
Okay.
Give me Denny.
Okay.
Give me Busher, the boy Busher.
Okay.
Give me KB.
Okay. KFB, by the way.
AFB.
AFB.
Give me Kyle Larson, kid.
Okay.
Give me Christopher Bell.
Okay.
Give me Brad Keselowski.
Ooh, interesting.
I'm hearing someone you skipped in there.
Did I?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I almost had him missing too, so I don't blame you.
I've yet to decide yet. We'll see when we get down to the list.
Okay.
I'm narrowing out some names.
Okay.
Give me Logano.
Okay.
Give me Harvick.
Okay.
How many spots I got left? 3, 2? 2 spots?
So left you have Chastain, both 2311 racing cars.
Blaney, McDowell.
Stenhouse.
Give me...
I know who he's going to say.
Give me Blaney.
Yep. I had a feeling you were going to say Blaney.
I was thinking about not, but...
Yeah.
I know who you're saying next, though.
Do you?
Yeah.
Bro,
Probably
if he
not,
doesn't,
actually.
I will be shocked.
It's one of these 2 drivers. I already know who it is.
Yeah. Which 2311 racing driver is Daniel going to pick?
Bubba. Give me Bubba.
Wow.
You don't have Chastain or Reddick making it?
Chastain's had a weird season, and so has Reddick, but I also just don't trust Reddick in the first round.
Wow.
That is true. Tyler Reddick has never made it past the first round of the NASCAR playoffs. So
Chastain's just had a weird season where it's like, it's not that I want him to miss it or I necessarily think he's going to. I just feel like I should predict him not making it because of how weird of a season it's been.
Right.
It's just been oddly quiet minus a few weeks here and there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I can trust that.
His team has just been very quiet since, the whole Noah Gragson situation.
Yeah,
Well, because they had to kind of focus on Suarez for a little bit. So
Yeah.
Chastain went silent, and they put all the focus on Suarez, and it didn't work enough. And so now they're going to have to focus it back. I don't know. It's not that I'm, like, praying on their downfall by any means. I just could see him missing.
So the drivers you have missing the first missing or getting eliminated are Tyler Reddick, Ross Chastain, Michael McDowell, and Ricky Stenhouse.
Yep.
Yup.
Do I feel confident in it? I'm not sure, but
I don't know, Chief.
yeah, I don't know either. I'm just trying to. It's weird, but it's also like realistic. Like I could see it happening,
Right.
and that's what I'm banking on. Like something I could see happening that would shock some people.
That's fair. I think that's fair. Okay, I'm gonna go Byron, Truex, Hamlin. I'm moving too fast for my fingers. Busher, Bush, Larson, Bell. Oh, that's just a V. What are you doing? Bell. Okay, now this is where I get hairy. Because I think after Bell, with the amount of playoff points everybody has, it can be anybody getting to the round of 12.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, you can kind of include Bell in that a little bit, too. So, really kind of after Larson, but I feel like Bell is kind of a lock.
They say that now.
Yeah. I do say that now, and I'll be completely wrong, watch. But that's okay. Oh, and we need to review our preseason ones, too.
Yes.
I forgot about that. But I think I'm going to go with... I think Brad K will be consistent enough to get through. I think Reddick can make it through. I think Logano can make it through. So that leaves me with Wallace, Harvick, Stenhouse, McDowell, Blaney, and Chastain. I don't think at all Stenhouse or McDowell are gonna go through.
She's not a believer.
I'm going Harvick. Blaney has just never performed in the playoffs, and I hate that because I do like Ryan Blaney, and I want him to.
But also, his 3 worst tracks
are the first.
First tracks.
Yeah. So, I'm counting Blaney out, like,
yeah.
Just so that leaves Wallace, Chastain, and I believe that's it for my. Oh, that's a hard. I think I'd go Chastain, honestly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chastain on that.
It's just difficult because I feel like this is a very difficult playoff field because
I was talking to Jay about that before we started recording. I was like, dude, I don't know who I'm gonna pick. Like, this is like one of the tightest playoffs I think I've like had to kind of take a look at.
And with like people really that we thought were locked, like Ross Chastain and Alex Bowman missing the playoffs, like it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Chase Elliott.
All right, Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman. Did I say Ross Chastain?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like, what do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that, my guy?
All right, Tristan, start off the round of 8, brother.
So I currently have in my round of 12 these drivers. My round of 8, give me Byron, give me Truex, Hamlin, and Busher. I think they are all 4 locks for the round of 8 as well. Then give me Kyle Busch.
Okay.
Then after that,
that's tough, man.
Now it gets tricky because I got the rest of these drivers. I could see any of them missing, but I could also see quite a few of them making. I will eliminate one. I'm going to eliminate last year's champion, Joey Logano. Penske has not been what it was.
Fair.
They have not been consistent. They have not won a race since the Coca-Cola 600. It has not been a good year for Penske, and the defense has not been good this season for Joey Logano. So I am going to eliminate Logano. I am also going to eliminate my favorite driver out of the playoffs, Michael McDowell. As even though the Charlotte Roval and Talladega are in the second round, I am going to eliminate McDowell. I just do not think we have the luck on our side. Third driver, I'll put a driver in. Driver I'm going to put in is Brad K. Give me Brad Keselowski. I think he wins at Talladega.
Fair.
And I think Brad K is going to get his first win and lock himself into the round of 8. He's going to have a very Kurt Busch playoffs, in my opinion.
I can see it.
The veteran. Now, I'll put one more driver in since I got 2 more spots left. My next driver I'll put in. Man, I could see any of these drivers. I'll put him in just because I think he'll probably end up making it. Kyle Larson, we'll put him in there. I very much so, though, considered him missing. So drivers I have left for this final spot are Tyler Reddick, Ross Chastain, and Kevin Harvick.
Yeah.
And just based off of road courses, I am going to put... I'm going to regret this. I'm going to put Tyler Reddick into the round of 8. I do not want to put Tyler Reddick into the round of 8, but that is all I have left. So, and I think Harvick's season comes to an end along with Chastain's.
Okay. Interesting. All right, Daniel.
Okay. Give me Byron.
Okay.
Give me Truex.
Okay.
Give me Hamlin.
Okay.
Give me Busher.
All right.
Give me Kyle Larson.
Oh, you tricked me.
What? Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
Give me Christopher Bell.
Okay.
How many spots am I have left? 2. Give me Logano.
Okay.
Give me Brad Keselowski.
Interesting.
I could absolutely eat my words, but Talladega is in there, and I can't ignore that.
Yeah, it's hard to ignore Talladega. So you have Bubba Wallace, Ryan Blaney, Kevin Harvick, and Kyle Busch missing the round of 8.
Yeah.
Daniel's gonna hate my championship 4.
Right.
I just don't trust RCR.
All right, so my turn. Moving Byron, Truex, Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson.
How many spots you have left? 3 or 4?
Christopher Bell. I have 2 now. So I have Byron, Truex, Hamlin, Busch, Larson, Bell. Dude. That's so tough, bro.
Tricky.
Because the Roval's in there. Talladega's in there. And what's the final track?
I believe it is Texas.
Texas is the first one. Yeah.
Homestead, sorry.
Texas, Talladega, Roval.
Yeah, Texas, Talladega, Roval.
Texas is a good track. So, this is so tough, dude. Oh my goodness, these last 2 spots. I'm gonna eliminate who I don't think will make it. I'm gonna go Harvick doesn't make it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Busher.
Makes it or does not make it?
Doesn't make it.
Ooh.
And I know that because that's a tough pick because Talladega's in there.
That's very, very tough. And the Roval. And Texas for all. I mean, this man is just having a good year.
Where's his wins at this season?
He won at Richmond. He won at Michigan, and he won at Daytona. And he's ran second in, I believe, 2 road courses this season.
Ah, dude. Okay. All right, Busher, you know what? Might as well. Just
Yep.
so that
Smart.
leaves Keselowski, Reddick, Logano, Chastain. So Chastain is not, I don't think is really the best at any of those tracks. Probably just normal. So I'm gonna eliminate him. I don't think he'll make it. Logano, he can win at Talladega. Keselowski can win at Talladega. Tyler Reddick probably has a better chance at Texas or the Roval. Oh, dude, those 3, bro. Those 3. That's so tough. Ah.
Anything can happen at those tracks.
You only have 1 spot left, right?
Yes, that's why I'm I'm contemplating it so hard, dude. I think I go.
I know who he's going to go.
I don't.
I do.
know.
I'm gonna go Logano.
I knew you were going to go Logano. I literally just flashed up a 22. When in doubt, pick last year's champion.
Yeah. Okay. Tristan, round of 4, brother.
All right. My championship 4. Going to go Martin Truex Jr., the regular season champion. He has to go in there. He has had a great season. And in my opinion, he is the championship favorite. My second championship 4 prediction. It's a little bit of an underdog. That boy's name is Christopher Buescher. I think Chris Buescher makes his first ever championship 4. I do not think he wins the championship, but I think he makes the championship 4. My third championship 4 prediction is Kyle Busch. I think Kyle Busch is going to make the championship 4. Now I will give you drivers that I do not think are going to make the championship 4. I do not think Tyler Reddick is going to make the championship 4. Just lack of experience in Toyota equipment. My next driver I don't think that's going to make it is Chris Buescher's RFK teammate and owner, Brad Keselowski. I just don't think I see Brad making the championship 4 just based off of the season that he has had. I'm going to eliminate one more driver, and this one might be a little bit surprising, but I am going to eliminate Kyle Larson from my championship 4. I just do not think he makes it. He's had a good year, just not a great year, and I think he's going to skid by the roof of his teeth even out of the round of 12. So that's what I'm thinking. So my last spot, I have a couple drivers left. I have for the final spot, I have William Byron. Busch.
Busch.
I have Kyle.
Oh no, yeah, you just have Byron and Hamlin. My fault.
Yeah, so I have Byron and Hamlin, both drivers that are top seeds. Which one makes it? Which one doesn't? You got to have a Hendrick car in the final 4, and that's why I'm going William Byron. I don't think Denny Hamlin makes the championship 4. Okay. Can't believe that I had William Byron missing the playoffs.
Yeah, you're insane for that.
You had one of the championship favorites missing the playoffs, then had someone that didn't make the playoffs winning your championship.
Yeah,
hey, bro.
the full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full circle for Tristan Greiner. All right, Daniel, round of 4.
Byron.
All right.
Truex.
Okay.
Larson.
Okay.
And Chris Buescher.
Let's go.
Wow.
It's happening. It's happening.
You got to have at least a Ford in there. You have to have at least every single manufacturer in there, in my opinion.
Jay is appalled.
Interesting. Huh. Okay. I mean,
you know, could this just be the Kevin Harvick treatment from last year where he just went really hot and we all got really high on him and then he kind of disappointed? It's possible.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me. All right. My round of 4. Byron, Truex, Bell, low key. Kyle Busch.
I agree. I don't agree with Christopher Bell, but I agree with Kyle Busch.
Yeah.
Me personally.
My champion is Martin Truex Jr.
Okay, I was scared for a second.
I think Martin Truex Jr. wins his second title.
Oh wow. Okay.
I
Daniel?
do not, but I think it'll come down to a overtime restart, him versus Kyle Busch.
Do we go with my brain or do I go with my heart?
Brain.
Brain, of course.
Give me William Byron.
Good.
Chris Buescher's not winning the championship, dude. I'm sorry.
Think about how sick that would be.
It would be freaking awesome.
That'd be
Think
insane.
about how awesome that would be.
All right. I'm gonna stick with my preseason prediction of
William
William
Byron.
Byron. So that is our playoff predictions going into the playoffs with no thought,
Woo!
just kind of a little thought, but just kind of going at it. No statistics, no anything going into it. Just
I mean, we didn't even pick
Pure
these
vibes.
until right now.
Strictly
so-
vibes.
just pure vibes on what we feel is right. So don't judge us if we're completely off.
For real.
But I do want to go back and check out what our preseason one, what they looked like.
Yeah, just read the playoff, like who made the playoffs in each of ours, and
Okay. I didn't mark them out. So Ross Chastain. So Tristan had Chastain, Logano, Harvick, Larson, Bush, Hamlin, Blaney, Reddick, Truex, Bell, Bubba.
Okay.
So you
Okay, so-
missed on Suarez, Bowman, AJ
Elliott.
Allmendinger, Chase Briscoe, and Chase Elliott.
okay, 11 out of 16 ain't bad.
Yeah.
However, my champion did miss the playoffs, so I mean, that kind of sucks.
No, 11 out of 16 might not be bad, but you know what's better? 12, baby.
All right. So Daniel had Logano, Chastain, Bell, Hamlin, Byron, Larson, Blaney, Bush, Reddick, Truex, Bubba, and Chris Buescher, actually. So
I've been on the train. I've been on the train.
So Eric Jones, you missed on. You missed on Bowman.
I don't want to talk about it.
You missed on Briscoe. You missed on Elliott. So, yeah. I had Logano, Bell, Hamlin, Byron, Larson, Blaney, Bush, Reddick, Truex, Bubba, Chastain. I missed on Priest, Bowman, Austin Cindric, Daniel Suarez, and Chase Elliott. So, Daniel, I feel like you deserve one extra point for winning the preseason totals.
Yippee! Yay!
Thank you, Christopher Buescher, for being
And-
my Lord and Savior.
And I do want to point out our preseason champions. So Tristan had picked Bowman as his preseason champion.
I don't like you anymore.
Daniel picked Christopher Buescher as his preseason champion.
No, Christopher Bell
Or my fault. Yeah, Christopher Bell. Sorry, I got confused.
wasn't on that train.
It's a Christopher B. So
Yeah.
yeah. And then I had picked William Byron. So yeah. That was our preseason. Daniel got 12 out of the 16 correct. Me and Tristan both got 11. So I feel like that's not bad just for preseason, honestly. So
Hey, if things go a certain way, there's a
Yeah.
chance I got the entire round of 12, but I'm not
Right.
confident about that being the case.
for real. So do we want to move into actual predictions now? Because
I think we should.
All
think we
right.
should.
Alrighty.
So Tristan, you want to start us off with where we're at this weekend?
Yeah, so we have a couple of tracks we're going to be at this weekend, guys. IndyCar is going to be at Portland. NASCAR is
This
going to be at Darlington. Yep, it's this week. And I don't know if we're racing this weekend at F1. I believe we are.
I think so.
but-
Yes. Let me.
But we're at Darlington, so we'll start with the Xfinity Series and Cup Series races at Darlington.
Oh, but real
Uh,
fast, I forgot to read off last week. So,
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Last week, Daniel got 3 picks correct. Daniel picked Chris Buescher, Christian Rasmussen,
Yeah.
and of course Max Verstappen. We all three got 1 point for Max finishing on winning. So me and Tristan both got 1 point for that. So the totals are 24, 16, and 20. Daniel did have 19, but since he won the preseason playoff prediction, he got that extra point. So now he's at 20, 4 behind Tristan Greider. So
I'm coming, Justin.
Hey, I'm just saying, I'm having a very
coming for you.
I'm consistently getting a point every single week, so I feel
You're
like it's
all
going to be
consistently getting 1 point a week.
That's true.
And then we missed
That
on
is true.
our group pick with David Malukas, but it was pretty close.
You had a podium.
Close.
So it was
Podium.
close.
Yeah. So all right. So Tristan, sorry, go back to what we were doing.
All right, so we're in Darlington. We got some good ringers in this one, but I'm going to be going with the guy who drives the 17 this weekend for Hendrick Motorsports in their final start for the Xfinity Series. I'm going to go 17 to Kyle Larson. That's my pick.
Interesting.
And,
Not me personally. I'm going with the guy that should have beat Larson last year. Give me Sheldon Creed.
Yep.
Okay, that's a good pick.
Yup.
He needs to finally become the bride,
Yup.
not the bridesmaid.
He needs it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the man himself, the Manny Hammy Sammy Smith brother.
The Jay Cox special.
And boys, I just want to say, put him down as the group pick. The certified group pick legend. Trevor Bain.
Real.
Put him down.
It's what it's gonna sound like when he hits the wall.
Oh God. I spelled Trevor wrong. Whoops. Okay, Trevor Bain is our certified group pick legend. I'm so glad he's back and we got to at least pick him once this season. So, does he win in the Indy Boys Awards? Does he win the thing already since he's a certified?
I have no idea.
Right.
We'll see. I was just sad that the news came out that he was going to be running after our episode.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh well, it is what it is. Tristan, going to Cup now?
Yeah, let's go Cup Series action, guys. Our 2 picks this weekend for the playoff opener. Southern 500, guys. One of the crown jewel NASCAR Cup Series races. My first pick is a guy who's really good at Darlington, and I think will lock himself into the next round. Give me William Byron. I think he has a great race. My second pick, call me crazy, but if I remember right, last year or 2 years ago in this Darlington race, this guy had passed the most cars on track within the first stage before he was spun and eventually took out. Call me crazy, but this guy's good at Darlington. And call me crazy, I think he might have a chance. And this is why I have him moving on in my next round. Give me Michael McDowell. It's a bold one, but it's my dark horse pick, so that's why I saved it.
Interesting. Okay.
He said interesting.
Daniel.
Give me Kyle Larson. First pick.
The good track for him, yes.
Wild card, second pick.
Uh-oh.
Have him moving on.
Chris Buescher.
Give me Bubba Wallace.
Oh.
Ooh, I like that.
5th earlier in the season. Qualified second.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Hey, I'm saying I barely had him missing. Yeah.
He's on to
Might
something.
be onto something.
So, I don't know. I can see it. Okay. My first pick. This is
I'm also going to be disappointed that I'm sad that no one did that after I said Michael McDowell. But, you know, hey, I thought I had more faith in you guys.
Nah. I can see it. I don't think it's necessarily a hot take, but
I mean, he's in the playoffs. So
it's definitely not. Isn't yeah.
It would have been a hot take 2 years ago when he was in the playoffs.
Yes,
True.
That's.
But hey, you do remember when he was passing all those cars in stage 1 at Darlington before he was taken out?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like,
Yeah.
I think it has. I think he has a shot, at least a top 10. I think.
But I do remember that he's racing for front row.
Yeah. So
I also remember that front row might be the second best Ford team in the freaking garage this year. So I mean, like, hey,
Who do you have as first?
RFK.
Okay, thank God. I was like Tristan, are you forgetting someone?
No, RFK. I put first. I'd put front row second and Penske third. And I don't think
Really?
that's a hot take. I think
Oh no.
Todd Gilliland's been way better than Austin Cindric, even though Cindric's higher in
Yeah,
points.
2
I
cars
think
in the playoffs though, out of 3.
1 car in the playoffs out of 2.
it's about equal.
66% is better than 50. You got a degree, but I know that.
That's funny.
All right, I'm picking Denny Hamlin. Good track for him, and I'm gonna go with. Damn, this is hard. I think I'm gonna go William Byron.
Okay.
I need to start getting points because we're winding down the end of the season. So
Yeah, Jay has to somehow build this comeback to going back to back.
He's got to go perfect like the rest of the season.
I'll do it.
Hey, he made a hell of a comeback last year, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Remember when Daniel was pretty much eliminated from this
I
contention?
don't
Like
want to
after
talk about it.
Daniel had like
Alex Bowman as your champion. We're not talking about last season.
Damn.
He got you, Loki.
He did get me.
Okay.
We don't talk about last
Daniel
season.
was getting points last season. Like the playoffs hit and he had 8 points, and then he was like, "I'm just gonna start picking Noah Gragson every week."
It worked.
Yeah, it did. Loki.
It worked.
All right, IndyCar, Daniel.
All right, IndyCar and Indy Next. Only one Indy Next race.
It's 1 and then 2 at Laguna. That's what I.
Yeah, it's 1 then 2. And for this first one in Portland, in Indy Next, give me Christian Rasmussen.
Rozzy. Oi. Tristan.
Give me Louis Foster. Portland,
Okay.
very similar, kind of, in my opinion, to Mid-Ohio, where Foster had his first win. So I feel like Portland would be a good track for him. So give me Louis.
Okay.
Going to win Rookie of the Year.
I am going.
Really?
To...
You think?
Foster?
Yeah. Over Siegel?
Isn't he higher in points than Siegel? Because Jacob
No.
Abel's third in points right now.
Siegel's 4th.
Oh, really? I thought Foster was 4th. Yeah, but I still think Foster has a chance.
I don't know. I'm gonna go with Loki. I think I'm gonna go.
I didn't know he was chill like that.
Honestly, I'm gonna go with McElroy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Portland's not a bad track for Hunter. So,
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
and he's technically still in contention. So,
Yeah. Daniel, IndyCar.
Hey, IndyCar, Portland. First pick. Give me Scott Dixon. Second pick. Give me Alex Palou. I know it's the cop-out answers, but
Hey, it's okay. All right, Tristan.
all right, first pick, give me Scott McLaughlin.
okay.
Second pick, give me. This one might be a little bit surprising. Never mind. I'm not gonna. Actually, no, I will do it. Marcus Ericsson. That's my second pick.
I don't think it's necessarily surprising.
Mm-hmm. Well, just because both these drivers are not in championship contention, but I do not think Palou or Dixon will win this weekend. Or Newgarden, for that matter.
I, on the other hand, am gonna disagree with you because I think Scott.
I, on the
Dixon,
other hand, am picking Scott Dixon and Alex Palou.
I mean, Scott Dixon finished third here last year. I'm just saying.
That's exactly what I was saying.
And I'm gonna go with. He actually ran pretty good here last year. I remember, and I think the team might come through for him. So I think I'm gonna go Newgarden. Maybe I'm trying to hope something up, but
No Willie P.
I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of. I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
I think we see a Willie P winless season.
I think it's possible.
At Laguna?
I don't think he wins Laguna, buddy.
There's 2 races.
For IndyCar?
Yes, there's 2 left.
IndyCar is running 2 races at Laguna?
No, Portland and then Laguna.
Yeah, I think we see a winless season from Will Power.
Oh, you said we get a win from Will Power. I was like, you didn't pick him this week.
He said we get a winless season.
I think my audio must have cut out for a second. I was like, huh?
No. Yeah. No. I don't think we'll win this season, unfortunately. But we do have F1 this weekend at Monza. So
Monza.
I will go first with picking the podium. I'm gonna go with Max Verstappen because they're gonna be the fastest cars there. It's literally just all speed.
Yeah.
Straight line speed. That's all it comes down to. Next, I think I'm gonna go. Man, every time I put Check on my podium, bro, he doesn't get on the podium. And mostly every time that I don't put him on my podium. He does get a podium.
Yeah.
Don't put him, Jay.
I think this
Don't
week.
put him.
I'm not putting him. You're correct.
So you know what to do.
I'm gonna go with Charles Leclerc second. I'm gonna go with Lando Norris third.
Ooh. Okay. I'm going to go Max P1.
Yep.
But low key, I'm going to go George Russell P2. That's because Monza can be crazy, but I don't feel like George Russell P2 is out of the equation. And then P3, I'm going to put Charles Leclerc.
Okay. Dang.
Well, you know who I'm picking P1, so don't even have to say it. It's a lock at this point.
Right.
P2, give me
Is it
Nando.
the lock from WWE 2K23?
No.
Okay.
No. P2, give me Nando. Give me Fernando, Fred, if you will. P3, give me Checo.
Checo. Okay. All right. Well, that's our predictions for the weekend. So, Tristan.
Bet.
And
All right.
predictions. So that was a long episode. That was an hour 30
Yeah,
minutes.
it's been our longest episode in a while, and I'm low-key kind of tired from that. Man, how did we used to pump out 2-hour episodes every week? I don't know how this is going on, man.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to the Indy Boys Racing Podcast. We're all sleepy boys. We've been yawning this whole episode, but it's okay. Shout out to Jay. Check out all of his stuff, guys. It is very, very cool, the stuff that he does for RTD Media. Follow him at Jay_confirmed or confirmed_Jay, whichever social media you're looking at. Follow us all on our own personal social medias, but follow it at Indy Boys Podcast on Instagram, Threads, X, and TikTok. We post stuff and highlights every single day. Subscribe to the YouTube channel because, we're kind of cool and I like us, I guess. Signing off for Daniel Shaney and Justin Cox. My name is Tristan Greider, and I'm ready to see Chris Bell miss the round of 12. Anyway, I've been saying it wrong the whole time. Anyway, I'm sorry, Alex Bowman, that I picked you the champion.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Have a good one, guys. Peace.
What? Yeah.
LA
Yeah.
night. Oh, yeah.